anywhere on the paper. You can fill it in. It doesn't have to be a pattern. You'll see why. But the reason it's a small paper, 5 by 7, as you can see, this is taking a while. And you want to cover the whole paper. So patience, patience. I want to get a lot of wax on there. Let's grab a few more colors. We don't have any greens. There's a dark color. And green. You go right over what you've already done because you want to be coloring the paper as much as possible. And I have, you can see some paper underneath this because as you get to the edge you get more crayon on there. The waxy crayon is going to spread around. And yes, you're using a lot of crayon, but not so much that you're going to use the whole box. And of course I have 96 colors. It's not going to run out for a while. Nice way to use up some old crayons too. You know, crayons that aren't quite good enough to draw with. And a nice variety is good. Almost done. Getting near the edge. As you can see, I didn't really plan anything. I'm just getting a lot of color on here, a lot of crayon, and you'll see why in a minute. I'm just grabbing colors as I go. I'm going in places that I haven't been, that I already have been. Almost finished. Use that color. And again, I don't have to be careful near my edges. Pretty good. Okay, what do we got? I guess that's called abstract art because I didn't plan it. It doesn't really mean anything. But what we're going to do now is there are two ways to do this. Okay, here's my black. Black's the color we want to use. The other thing that we can use, hold on one second. So we're ready for the next step. Of course, you've seen the black crayon. We can use that. We'd be going over the whole thing again. And you've got to really rub darkly because it's got to use black. And this is it's got to be a heavy coating of black. I'm just going to do that corner because it'll work with that. You can see it's nice and black. You can get it, keep going over it. But the other way you can do it faster is acrylic paint, and this is black paint. So the choice is to be patient and do the whole thing with a wax crayon, whole thing over with black, or you can put a little bit of black temper paint, acrylic paint, on there. And paint it with the black. Both are going to take a little while, and you can see my brush strokes. I'm going to use a different brush, a softer brush. Well, that'll work. I'm kind of going with my diagonal line that I've had already. And I might need 2 coats. And again, you can do it with the black crayon too. Using the colors that are underneath to really make it kind of a dark look, but at the same time colorful, because I don't even know where those colors are. So you need something to scratch with. So you can use a pin, but I'm a little worried about a pin because it's sharp at the end and it may tear the paper that you're working on. So one of the things that would work is a paper clip that you just pull out, and you can scratch with that. Let's give it a whirl right now. I'm going to make some flower shapes. You can draw anything. You can draw a picture of a house and trees, and flowers are always good, sunshine. Let's just give it a start. So I'm going to make and cut this out. And there are some colors. Another part of the flower. And that's very pretty under there. Another petal. And remember, we don't know where the colors are. And then we're going to draw the stem and some leaves. So I'm going to switch now to this is a screwdriver that's got a little bit of sharper point. So let me try to do some grass. Let me try one more utensil that's a little bit finer. And there are a number of things you can try. We use the paper clip and a screwdriver. Just want to know some of the things are going to make it look thicker. Others are going to be easier to use. This is a very small screwdriver, so I can make very small edges on this flower. And that for me is kind of pretty. So again, and you know the leaf is not going to be the leaf color because you don't know what's under there. That's kind of a pretty flower. And let's make some more shapes of flowers. You could do a house. Let's do one more flower over here. If you want a perfect circle, you can use something to trace around. And again, this flower can go right to the grass. And again, you can use a thicker thing for stones at the bottom. And let's go for a house. Here, there's a house back here. Here's the roof. A door. A window. And you can use a pin. Just want you to be careful if you're using a pin, because they are sharp. And here's the sidewalk. Remember, we used paint, and in some ways the crayon doesn't pull up quite as easily, so you can control it more. Gonna have a chimney. And let's end with a tree over here. Maybe a bird flying over here. 2 birds. Oh, let's make it 3. Okay. Sorry, I didn't have that low enough to see. So all those colors, it just makes it really lovely to look at. Not hard to do. You can do it in an afternoon. Remember, you cover the whole thing with black crayon. Again, it'll take a while because it has to be nice and thick. Or black acrylic paint, just paint it on. You have to let it dry in between. So that's our art lesson. Thanks for joining me. Oops, little black paint there. Bye-bye.